What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to Cowboys News TV, your go-to source for all things Dallas Cowboys. I'm Dave, and today, we've got a critical update regarding our star cornerback, Trevon Diggs. As we gear up for Sunday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Diggs has been added to the injury report with an ankle issue, and this is a development no Cowboys fan wants to hear. We'll break down the latest on Diggs' status, along with other key injury updates, and discuss what this could mean for the Cowboys as they prepare for a tough matchup. But before we dive in, if you're not already subscribed, now's the time to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. We're on the road to 12,000 subscribers, and your support means everything to us. Help us reach that goal and stay up to date on all the latest Cowboys news. Every subscription helps us grow. Alright, Cowboys Nation, before we continue, I want to hear from you in the comments. What are your thoughts on Trevon Diggs being added to the injury report? Drop a comment below and let us know how concerned you are about his availability for Sunday's game against the Steelers. Do you think he'll be ready to play, or should we rest him to avoid further injury? Let's get the conversation going. Let's jump into the details. Trevon Diggs has been a crucial piece of the Cowboys' defense in 2024. He's played in all 4 games this season, racking up 18 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and an interception during the season opener against Cleveland. But now, he's been listed as limited in practice due to an ankle issue that popped up on Thursday's injury report. Diggs had been healthy all season, so this is definitely a setback we didn't want to see heading into a big game. While the exact severity of the injury is still unknown, we're all waiting to hear more from head coach Mike McCarthy, who is expected to give an update soon. Cowboys Nation, do you think Diggs will be able to push through this injury and take the field on Sunday? Or should we play it safe and rest him to avoid aggravating the injury? Vote in our poll and let us know what you think. Your opinions matter, and we'll be reading through the comments to see how you're feeling about this situation. As if Diggs being on the injury report wasn't enough, the Cowboys are already dealing with several other key injuries, including Darren Bland, who is still recovering after being placed on injured reserve to start the season. Bland was a standout last year, stepping in after Diggs suffered a torn ACL. Without Bland, the Cowboys have had to rely heavily on their depth, but with Diggs' injury, that depth is being tested even further. It's clear that the Cowboys are facing some major challenges heading into this matchup against Pittsburgh, and it's going to be a tough battle without some of our best defensive players. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Who needs to step up in case Diggs can't go on Sunday? Could it be Jordan Lewis, or maybe one of the young guys like Eric Scott, Jr.? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us who you think will make the biggest impact. Now, switching gears a little bit, there's another headline making waves in Cowboys Nation, CeeDee Lamb's message to the team's younger wide receivers. CeeDee has stepped up as a leader this year, and he's been pushing the younger guys like Jalen Tolbert and Cavante Turpin to bring their A-game in practice and on the field. With some of the injuries we've seen at wide receiver this season, including Brandon Cooks, Lamb knows that the depth of the receiving corps could be critical for the Cowboys' success down the stretch. So, Cowboys fans, how do you feel about our receiving corps? Do you think the younger guys are ready to step up if needed, or is there more work to be done? I want to hear your thoughts, so hit the comments and let's discuss it. Plus, who's your favorite young receiver right now? Vote in our poll and let us know who you think could have a breakout performance in Week 5. Looking ahead to Sunday, it's clear that this matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be a challenging one. The Steelers are sitting at 3-1, while the Cowboys are at 2-2. It's been a rocky start to the 2024 season for Dallas, but this game presents a big opportunity to turn things around. However, it won't be easy. The Cowboys are likely going into this game without 2 of their biggest defensive stars, Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, both of whom are dealing with injuries of their own. This is going to put even more pressure on the Cowboys secondary, especially if Diggs isn't able to play. Cowboys Nation, how are you feeling about this matchup? Do you think the Cowboys have what it takes to pull off a win, or are we facing an uphill battle without our key defensive players? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to vote on whether you think Dallas can come out on top this week. Your feedback is important, and we'll be discussing it in our next video. Now, let's take a quick look at the Week 5 rooting guide. As always, Cowboys Nation, it's important to keep an eye on how other NFC teams are doing, especially those in our division. We're keeping our fingers crossed for some upsets this week, as it could help Dallas' chances down the line. We're hoping for a Browns victory over the Commanders, a Giants upset over the Seahawks, and even a Cardinals win against the 49ers. Every loss by these NFC teams helps our Cowboys, so keep an eye on those games and root accordingly.
Wait a second, Cowboys Nation. Before you click off, we've got one more important segment to dive into, a deep dive into the Cowboys' full injury report leading up to the game against the Steelers. With multiple key players nursing injuries, it's crucial to know who's in, who's out, and what to expect on game day. We all know how much of a game-changer Micah Parsons is for this defense. Unfortunately, his knee injury has been lingering, and he was limited in practice throughout the week. Even if Parsons suits up, expect him to be on a snap count. That puts pressure on the rest of the defensive front to step up in his absence. Cowboys Nation, how confident are you in the rest of the defense if Micah can't go full throttle? Drop your thoughts below. DeMarcus Lawrence, foot. Another major defensive piece, Lawrence has been dealing with a nagging foot injury. Similar to Parsons, his availability is in doubt, which makes the Cowboys' pass rush a major question mark. Without Lawrence applying pressure, we may struggle to contain Pittsburgh's offensive attack, especially with a mobile quarterback like Kenny Pickett. Cook's hamstring injury has kept him on the sidelines for most of the early season, and his absence has been felt on offense. While he's been practicing in a limited capacity, it's unclear if he'll be ready to go at full speed. If Cooks is out or limited again, we'll need guys like Michael Gallup and Jalen Tolbert to step up. Every injury brings opportunity, and we've seen it time and time again. When a star player goes down, it opens the door for young, hungry players to make their mark. This is especially true for the secondary. If Trevon Diggs and Darren Bland remain unavailable, the Cowboys will have to rely on Jordan Lewis, who's coming off his own injury, and Eric Scott Jr., who is still developing. Cowboys Nation, who do you think is going to be the surprise standout on defense this week? Will it be one of the veteran players like Malik Hooker, or could we see a breakout performance from a young guy like Scott or even Israel Mukumu? Let us know in the comments. Impact on Sunday Night Football. With so many defensive starters either out or banged up, this game against the Steelers will be a true test of the Cowboys' depth. Pittsburgh's offense, while not explosive, is balanced and can take advantage of mismatches, especially if we're missing key playmakers. Establish the run game. Tony Pollard needs to have a big game. If we control the clock, we limit how much time our depleted defense is on the field. Next man up. Whether it's on defense or offense, the backups will have to step into the spotlight. Special teams. With key injuries, special teams could be a deciding factor in this game. Watch out for Cavonte Turpin, he's a guy who could change the game with one big return. If the Cowboys can execute these points, they'll have a fighting chance, but it's going to be a battle. And before we officially sign off, here's one last question for you, Cowboys Nation. What's your final score prediction for Sunday Night Football? Do you think the Cowboys can go on the road and come out with a victory despite all the injuries, or will Pittsburgh be too much to handle? Drop your score predictions in the comments below, and we'll shout out some of the most accurate ones in our post-game analysis video. Lastly, make sure you stay tuned to Cowboys News TV because coming up next week, we've got some exciting content lined up. We'll be breaking down the best and worst performances from Sunday's game, providing an update on the injury status of key players, and even taking a closer look at some trade rumors involving the Cowboys as the trade deadline approaches. Plus, don't miss our mid-season review where we'll assess the team's playoff chances, potential breakout players for the second half of the season, and whether the Cowboys need to make any roster moves to stay competitive in the NFC. So, again, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now. We've got a lot of content coming your way, and you won't want to miss any of it. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, stay safe, stay strong, and let's get that win in Pittsburgh. Go Cowboys!